thought we should discuss the. See, now it's recording, Pearly. Cheeky. So now that we're getting towards the end of the campus life journey, we're not at the end, getting towards the end, so don't zip off anywhere. We thought we'd talk about the next steps, because we knew that when we started this process, there would be, people who get roles, people who don't get placed. There's people who get placed in multiple different opportunities. There's a variety of things that have happened during this period. But what we desired was that you would get good learnings from going through the process, discipline of coming to meetings, talking to people, working with clients directly if you got that opportunity. However, for some of you, you got placed later in the game than others, or your person left and then you had to start with someone new. That's completely normal in agency life. That's, Pearly's been with me long enough to have, gotten a client, lost a client, got another client. This client's changed businesses and they've upgraded, and that's just life, right? Change is inevitable. However, what we're finding is that our clients, once they start working with you, they kind of like to work with you. And so several of them have approached us to work with you ongoing. And so we need to have a process for that. So Pearly and I put our heads together and we started brainstorming ways of working. And so we want to take you through a little bit of that pathway today. Pearly put this deck together, so I presume that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be about the freelancing product that we was discussing about.
Yeah, I knew that. So I'm going to take you to that today, and to be honest, this is the first time that we're running this one, so we want to get your feedback. I've already tested it with several people, just to sense check it, and we're still working out the finer details. But the desire is that as we onboard the next round of Campus Life students, the current crop of students, which you are in round one, would then go on to be freelancers with us, so work for your clients or other clients with us supporting you. That's the goal. And if you get a full-time role, if we're going to help you to do that, that you would also potentially stay on and work with us on it as a side business, because a lot of these opportunities are only a few hours a week, and or come and coach the next round of interns, because that's actually a developmental opportunity that we're looking at as well, which is in the deck, but it's something that I've been considering. So if you want to go through the slides and then we'll take some questions at the end, that'd be great. Okay, so is that you, Pearly?
No, it's just a Canva graphics.
I don't know. Annie, do you think that looks like Pearly? A little bit?
The hair's a bit too short compared to Pearly.
Ah, yes.
Looks like Tiana, actually.
You think so? Yeah, actually, it probably does a little bit. Yeah, it's true. I always wonder where the AI is getting their source material from. So, so as we finish our internship, there's an opportunity, obviously. So you'll be looking for full-time jobs. What we don't want is you to get stuck, and that's what we find happens with people when they lose uni or they finish a normal internship, is that the company, if they don't employ them, doesn't do anything to help them get the next role. So for instance, Angus, who's one of our people who've gone through the Bob program and is in our current Bob Grow Club, I'm helping him start a business. He did an internship fully expecting to get a full-time role, and after 3 months they just said, sorry, you're not required. And he was shocked. Like, he just, the next, one day he thinks he's got a job, the next day he's out of work, he's at home, he's like, what am I going to do now? Because he had fully planned for that to continue. So we don't want that to happen. In fact, I'm out and about at the moment. I just did an interview for a girl who's done her master's, isn't able to find a role, needs some guidance, some mentorship, and proactively approach us to do Campus Life, as in go through the process. Pearly, she'll probably reach out to you. And she's a friend of someone who went through this process at Social Star many years ago, Carmen. Did you know Carmen? Pearly, you know Carmen, don't you?
I think he left after before I joined.
Yeah. So Carmen, we got her a job at a lawyer company. She's been there for 2.5 years, I think, and referred her university friend to us for mentoring advice, etc. So this is the way the world works: is network referrals, getting opportunities from known people like us. So another part of the challenge is building a portfolio. So can I just do a quick hands up of who has a website with their portfolio on it? I know some do. Can you just do a hands up who has one? None. One. I thought it'd be more than that. Cassie, you don't have a portfolio website? What's the barrier to do that? You just haven't done it, or?
Yeah, I just never done one before, so I've never been able to apply it.
Yeah, cool. Okay. And obviously people, funnily enough, this girl who's got a master's degree in marketing and an undergrad from Melbourne University is working at Lululemon, which is not a bad place to work, but it's not marketing where she wants to go to, right? But she just can't get the first break. The first step's the hardest, right? And so this is what we are going to help you with. So go to the next slide. Oh, did you skip one? No? Okay. There you go. Thank you. So what we wanted from this is that you'll gain real internship experience. Now, some of you haven't been placed and some have been placed, so you have a different variety of experiences, but you've still been through the program and you've still worked with us and you've still been able to preferably, well, I hope, leverage your skills in building your own brand, because that's what we wanted as you went through the Bob program. We are going to help you build a portfolio, which is going to be the next slide, I think. And I know that we haven't been paying you for this particular time, but the future is that we want to do that while we support you to get that role. So, and one thing that Pearlie noted here is, and I found this very true, is that when you've had direct experience and you have a portfolio, you just look like you're more together, right? Doesn't mean it's the only thing that matters. This girl who I just met, she doesn't have a portfolio either, and she's worked, but it's interesting, when she told me about her work experience and I drilled down into it, the full-time role she had wasn't full-time, it was casual, it was very part-time, in fact, and the role she did have was not here, it was overseas, and it was working for her parents. So not that that means it's not valuable, but she wasn't exactly being clear and specific, if you know what I mean. So, and in a job interview, that would not be perceived as well. And I don't consider this a job interview because she wants to volunteer and, to come through our program. But it's important that she builds on-the-ground skills in this country with real businesses that you can point to them and say, I work for that person. And in fact, they'll give you a reference, which is what we want to build here. So the next one. Cool. So the program we want to invite you to join, and it's completely voluntary. So if you choose to work with us post this time, which is January, what's the exact date, Pearlie? Do we have a last day?
It's going to be, the last day going to be on the 22nd of January.
Great. So 22nd January. So obviously we've got many more meetings before then, and we have a break over Christmas, to consider. What we want to do is invite you to work for yourself, but with us. Now, what that means is you would become an independent contractor. You would start your own business. Now, when I say that, it doesn't mean that you would necessarily, have a PTY Ltd company and you have to spend a lot of money building a website or developing your assets. It's not that way at all. This is a minimum viable product for you to do consulting, preferably with the customers you've already been working with, or you can have your own clients, and we're going to help market you to our clients as well. And this was always in my long-term plan. It's just this is the first iteration of that. Now, what we're going to do is to give you access to all of our tools. And I know that Canva Pro is a very useful tool. And I had someone who told me that they were using our ChatGPT Pro, and then when they stopped using that, it kept coming up with the fact that they couldn't do any work because they kept running out of credits. And also Go High Level. Now, Go High Level is, or High Level, which is a CRM software, is the latest and greatest CRM tool. And we haven't used it a lot thus far, but it's very important that we use it in the future. It would make you indispensable to your clients. They can get content from other sources. They can replace you with a new intern for lower cost, or for, a different situation, as in they could get their own volunteer. However, if you've got access to these tools, particularly Go High Level, you will become very sticky in their accounts. So, you create a long-term relationship because it's a very specialist knowledge, and once you build a CRM and get involved, it's very hard to change, right? So it's a very good thing for you to devote some time to, and to work with us to help you grow in that space with your client. So we would give you access to all of these tools. We would continue the coaching. So the weekly meetings would continue rather than finish in January. You'd also give you support for your roles. We'll still do that after the program, but obviously if you're working with us more regularly, then we'll be able to give you more direct feedback and advice. And we'll support you in your new client business. So we'll help you, we'll actually market you to our clients. And then if you find a client on your own steam, we'll help you with things like the negotiation, the sales process, the pricing, and those sorts of things. Okay. Now, obviously this would be a commercial relationship. So the big difference in this program, I forgot to slide on this one, is that you would be receiving the money from the client, and then you're paying us to be part of your business. Okay. So as you can see, all of these products, these are the monthly costs. If you wanted to buy them separately, I think Canva is actually is $106 a year. I looked up this morning. But regardless, it's like $40 a month, I think. But if you go to the next slide. Okay. So have we got a slide on the program costs and those sorts of things?
No, I think we haven't finalized the cost yet. So
yeah, cool. Okay. So go back to the previous slide if you can, and I'll just talk more about that. So what we're highlighting here is that we would provide you all of these services, and right now the client pays us to manage this program because we provide these services. We have to pay for them, so we pay for them on your behalf, right? In the future, what would happen is you would get paid by the client, and you would pay a percentage of that to us. So Lara, let's just say your client's paying you $500 a month, which is what they used to pay us for your services. You would collect that money, and you might provide us, say, $200 a month, right, in order to support you through that process, right? We haven't finalized the figures because we want to get feedback, and we also have to look at the costs of our services. However, that would be the kind of model. Now, if you get a second client and we help you with that, obviously you would need to pay us another service. We'd help you with setting up Go High Level for them, but it depends. Now, the reason why it's important that you're an independent contractor and you take the money is that the cost profile we have to help you with these services is very tight. So essentially, the small amount of money we get from clients to help you in your internship, it actually doesn't even cover our costs, right? So this is a social enterprise. Eventually, it will cover our costs and eventually be profitable, which means we can offer more services. But at the moment, we don't want to increase the price because we want as many people to participate as possible, okay? When you go and work with your client as an independent contractor, you can then charge whatever you like. We don't determine the cost. We can help you decide on the cost, but it's up to you. It's up to you how you deliver the service, and it's up to you whether you outsource some of those services to other people, right? An independent contractor means you're running your own business. We can talk you through how to do that. We'll also provide you with a landing page on our website. So Cassie, you don't have a portfolio. Part of the barrier to that is setting up a new website, right? And the cost involved in that is about $300 a year, plus the effort to do that. What we will do is you can use our website, so you don't pay anything. And what you get is a landing page. So you'll get a piece of real estate on the Campus Life website dedicated to Cassie, which you can send to people, potential clients, potential employers, and showcase your portfolio, right? And we will direct clients to our website to find you. So then they can look through all the portfolios and go, who do I want to hire? Okay, and that's our process. Now, from there, how you deal with a client, we can advise, but we can't dictate. Okay, it's up to you. However, we will have a cost for our services because we obviously are providing you the website, the back-end software, the support, advice, and coaching. And we'll determine those figures with you. Now, so to do that, you would need to obviously step up and be more self-determined in the way you do it. And some people might just have one account. Some people might go out there and start being a freelancer themselves and not even get a job. That's up to you. But I kid you not, that experience would be even more regarded than doing the internship. Because doing an internship is a junior sort of role, if you like, and it's great experience. But if you're running your own freelance business and you've gone out and got clients and serviced them on a commercial basis, I mean, any agency will hire you. You do that for a year, any agency would want you because you've had direct experience, and it shows a lot about your resourcefulness and your ability to work with clients, okay? You'll mature a lot faster in that type of environment. This is why we think it's actually so good. We also have many staff members and so forth who do side gigs. So even though they work for me, they actually service small clients that are friends and so forth on the side. So this gives you the opportunity to do that even if you do get a job, you know, because if you do a job and it lasts a year, but then you get retrenched, right? Then you got zero salary. But if you have your consulting business running on the side, you can always step up your consulting business to fill in the gap, or during, you know, enforced break periods like over Christmas. It just gives you options. So we feel like it's a really good resource and tool for our students to use this freelancer business in the future. Okay, so we've just got some questions for you, and then I'll want to get some feedback from you guys. So although Pearlie and I have talked about costs and we've talked about how it could work and so forth, it's really up to you guys. We've tested it on a couple of people so far. I don't know, is Vivian on the call? Can't see. Pearlie, is Vivian on the call? If you are on the call, Vivian, put your hand up.
Yeah.
Ah, there you are. So Vivian was the first person I talked to about it because she just happened to be in the office. And I kind of pitched it in a certain way. And it's evolved a little bit since then, Vivian, where we were like, you'll pay us for the software. But now I think what we do is, because the way the software works, is we'll just have a single fee, and that fee covers everything that we have, right? And we'll probably make it per client, because then what we can do is we can actually help you with each individual client opportunity. If it's only a one-time fee, you just get general coaching and you wouldn't get any other sort of support services. But the way I think it might work better is, so Vivian works in our sewing and overlocking client. So let's say she's working on that, but then her friend says, oh, I run my own cafe, can you help me do the marketing? Vivian can come to us for advice, and we would help her because she's giving us a percentage of the opportunity to do that. It's exactly the same as my business partner. He does our creative direction work and a lot of our services, and I pay him a percentage of clients, you know, because he helps me with all that. And it's better to have him there as another strategic, smart person. He has a lot of different knowledge to me, and he does work for us. So he helps us to in our work. And so we have a partnership. So this is a partnership that Social Star is making, well, yeah, it would be Social Star, would be making with you in order to do that. Now, I did want to mention the reason why we're not doing direct employment is the costs would go up substantially. Insurance, work cover, we have to pay minimum wage, superannuation. And the challenge with that is it'd be very difficult for us to find clients. and because the administration of running the business would be it just outprices in the market. And for your, being a recent graduates of an intern program, you need to develop experience by being, very, very reasonable cost in the market. So then it's about driving efficiency. Okay, so that's why we want to be an independent contractor, and you set your own hours. For a lot of the work you do, which is probably content management, these systems we've got, once we teach how to use Go High Level, super efficient, right? You do it in very limited time once you've onboarded with the client. Okay, so here's the questions that I'm asked, and I'd like some feedback from the team. So if you can stay online. Firstly, what would help you most after the internship ends? So we're thinking a dedicated portfolio landing page and continuing advice on how to get how to work with your freelance clients until you find that job. Now, we will assist you in getting a job, but we're not here to get a job for you. That's your job. Your job is getting a job. Our job is to help you to get the job. So what do you need? In terms of that job search, what would help? Things that we have already considered are a digital certificate to put on your profile, recommendations and referrals. So obviously, Pearl and I can give you LinkedIn recommendations and referrals. You would obviously need to have done a good job for us to do that. If you're here, that's a good sign. Would earning while applying for a job be helpful? Now, obviously, you have to do the work to earn, but we think that's, most people would say yes. What coaching and tools would you use? Because one thing we've found is some people are using ChatGPT Pro and some are using their own system. We would need a compliance to keep using the tools to obviously to pay for them, because we've got, the more people using them, the better. And what other challenges you're facing? And we might have missed something here. There could be other ideas you have. So I just want to go around the grounds in the time we have left to just get some feedback. So Vivian, just while you're here, you gave us some feedback initially that you'd probably take your first client with you, have other clients you don't know. So with this new model now, you've had some time to think. Where's your thoughts at?
I think it's good, but it just will depend on the pricing, because it depends on how long you're working with your clients, and if you do the math on it, I just think it'll depend whether, with uni and stuff, I can afford the time to carve out in my life to make sure that I'm doing the best I can for my client, and also for you guys as well.
Yeah, correct. And that would be, so I think what Vivian's saying is, because she's got a retail job that's casual, it pays quite well per hour.
Yeah, kind of that has to get considered as well. Correct.
But you also have to consider the long-term, getting an intern, getting a job in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a bit of a blend of what that would be. But this is why we want to make it paid rather than a free internship, so that it's at least encouraging you to continue that process. Thanks, Viv. Cassie, so if I was offered you a job, would you take it on? Or
Yeah,
someone else?
I definitely would, because it's good experience learning from her, considering I'm completely new to this whole industry. So I definitely would take her on. I'm just also concerned because, I do want to earn a full-time, I want to try and apply for full-time jobs as well, just because it's hard not working at the moment. But yeah, I'd still work on Roz's account, even if I did end up finding a full-time job. But yeah, very likely that after this internship ends, I will be fully dedicated to looking for a full-time job as well.
Yeah, and this is not replacing a full-time job in the slightest. It's just while you're looking for a job, you might as well do some work. Right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah, exactly.
And even if you get a job, super quick, this is, earning hundreds of dollars in a month can be useful for entertainment. Just use it as spare money, right? So
yeah.
Okay. Lara, what do you think? Would you take on a client? Would you want to work as a freelance while you're doing full-time?
I'd definitely be interested. I'm still in uni, so I'm not going to look for full-time work, because I'm just going to keep doing uni full-time at the moment. So I think it'd be something interesting to consider. But I do have one question. If I don't have a client at the moment, because I'm just a buddy on an account, would I then like, I don't know how to, like, almost like a waitlist sort of thing for like, if you get a new client sort of thing?
Yeah. So the people who we put Lara up for a role for a company we had, and unfortunately we didn't win that business, so it fell through. Which again, these things happen. So you'd be a priority pick for when we do get another opportunity. I got 2 more opportunities yesterday, so we're always finding new deals, and it's just finding the one that's the right fit. So, but yeah, so if you created that portfolio, we would make you a priority. Because remember, the next intake, they're super green. They haven't been through the process. You'd be my preference because you've obviously shown up, gone through, and you know a lot more than those people. And you'll see, it'd be interesting when you actually, when you go back to seeing the new graduates when they come on, you'll be like, oh my God, look how much we've grown since then. You'd be quite surprised. So yeah. Yeah, that's good. Thanks for the feedback. And would you set up a portfolio site? It's in Squarespace, so we give you some guidance, but you need to set up yourself. Do you have stuff to put on there, or do you?
I mean, I don't know that I actually have much to put on there, but I'd be definitely interested to create one if I like developed things to put on there or like learned how to create one. I think I'd be interested because it's really good experience and it's something that's like, a place that showcases all the work. So
yeah. And that's the reason why we want you to set it up, is to get the experience of using Squarespace as well, because that's our primary website tool. So just gives you that, Cassie's having to build a Squarespace website now, and it's, there's some tricks that you need to learn. Cool. Okay, Joe? I'm just going down my list of people I can see. So,
yeah, I think I would definitely be interested in doing that. Like just the flexibility at the moment. I do have like a fair bit of time as well, so I think I can make that work as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, Kim. Oh, I can't hear you, even though you're not on mute. Yeah, text it. All right. See, I always thought uni students were not being true when they said their mics weren't working, but it's fair income. Yeah, you'd be open to it. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Sorry, can't see anybody else. Let me just get the right list. All right, I can't see anyone else on my screen. Can you maybe close the PowerPoint, Billy? Ah, that's better. All right, who else do we have? Oh, Annie. You're already doing work for us.
Yeah, but I'm still in uni, so like if that's what you would offer in the future, I would probably be interested in to do, because I'm also new to the industry, so having the freelance work to do would probably help me.
Yeah, and we're also offering, we do get the occasional opportunities just for some freelance work. In fact, Pearlie and I saw a client today, and they have some work over summer for us. So we'll provide, the first place we go to is this database in order to find somebody for that. In fact, when we go to rehire new people next year, we go to the Campus Life alumni as our first place to go as well. And people have already got jobs through that process. And it just depends on the client we have, the fit we feel, the location sometimes matters. There's just a few criteria that we look at when we're doing that process. So we're actually on time. I actually have a meeting now, but did anyone want to volunteer? I know we've got a bunch of other people in the meeting. Does anyone else want to ask any questions or contribute? So we've got Liz and Nicole. Any other comments? No? Cool. It sounds like people are quite favourable to it, depending. Obviously, this is not going to support you, so it would be an add-on to what you do, but it's an experiential thing. So what we'll do is Pearlie and I'll go away and we'll come out with the next round of detail about that, and then we'll present it next week, and we'll start the process because we want to start getting these landing pages built. So it's well in advance of the end of the project, and also, you know, can start placing with people if that's what we if we get those opportunities. Do you want to add anything, Pearlie, before we head off?
No, just before we head off, I just want to thank you for anyone who filled in the feedback form. I'll take into consideration for the future trainings program.
Yeah. We also, so just so last point is, if you do continue on, you would be sitting in with the new people, the new grads. And because we're going to change our training to be, to include a lot more of things like Learning Go High Level and website design, and a lot more specific around the tasks. We've learned a lot from this round of the programming. So if you stay in, you'll get all of that advanced training. And knowing these, you know, these systems is really gold. Like, you know, whenever I'm interviewing, I'm like, what can you do for me? And they're generally things like, I'm great with people, or I love to learn. I'm like, well, that's nice, but if you knew Go High Level, I'd hire you. You know what I mean? Because it's such a practical, tangible skill. So we're going to train the next round and you with that, because we want everyone to use it. It's just the backbone of people's sort of marketing campaigns. So that's all we have time for today. Thanks for your attendance and your feedback. Sorry I didn't get to everybody. And we will catch you next week, and we'll make sure we get those other comments when we do the next meeting. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
See you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.